yeah, with new innovation comes your role's going to change in this whole thing, right? You're like, okay, well now I need to get an underwriter. That's part of this new plan of my recruiting. Like, you know, because the way you do is you work backwards. Yep. You're like, okay, you know, we want to make $500,000 a month. We need to get this many leads, this many sales guys. Okay, what are some new problems we'll face? Well, we're going to need an underwriter to help all these sales guys, right? We're going to need another transaction coordinator to help with this. What else do we need? Well, we don't need any more money. We don't need any more contractors. You know, other than that, we now need me or whoever it is to just kind of oversee the whole operation and make sure that, you know, it's functioning the way it needs to. You'll probably need somebody else now to take over sales. So you need a sales manager. And then you'll probably need somebody who's like a dispo manager to make sure deals get to the finish line. And then your job is now the business owner to like oversee the whole machine.
Yeah. What do you look at though when like I've gotten to a point now where I'm like, I don't have a crazy lifestyle.
That's enough money.
Yeah, my money's fine. Like I don't really care if I make a whole lot more money, honestly. Like
well, so then that becomes right. So what I was saying earlier was strictly if you wanted to just scale the business and make more money.
Yep.
Right. So now we're talking about a different problem, which is fulfillment and purpose.
Purpose, yeah.
So and this is kind of where I was at with house flipping originally 5 years ago when I got on social media, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good doing the deals we do, making what we make. I could care less if it grows from this point forward. I just want it to maintain without me.
Yep.
That was my goal. And it did. So then I was able to go focus on something that was more fulfillment. Now, granted, that purpose and fulfillment also I knew was going to make more money as well.
Yep.
But even if it didn't, I knew it was going to lead me to the other things that I wanted, which was influence and literally being able to do what I'm doing now.
Yep.
And so it was twofold. It was like, I know it leads to bigger opportunities. I don't know what it looks like, but it does. And I'm going to enjoy doing it. So I think for you, the question then becomes, well, maybe your business is fine the way it is and you don't want to scale it. There's nothing wrong with that. You just need to basically hire out the roles you currently are in. I need to hire out an underwriter, need a sales manager, and we're pretty much good.
Yeah.
At that point.
Did you have any fear in doing those things that the business would fail or?
At that point I had already had pretty good experience with delegating out. You know, I had built the brokerage and I wasn't like involved. The tax company, I wasn't involved. Like, you know, even, you know, the house flipping, I wasn't like super involved even at that point. Yeah. Like I delegated it pretty good.
Okay.
So I was already like looking for something to do. Yeah. I was like, I have a lot of time. What should I do? What's the best opportunity now? And I think that that's really the goal for every business owner. You want to build a business to get back your time. And once you have time, then you have freedom and choice to do what you want.
Yeah.
And it's at that point, because like really if I was to reverse engineer life and business, what we really want is freedom. Financial freedom, not have to worry about our money and our bills, and so keeping our lifestyle to where, you know, our cash flow exceeds our lifestyle by whatever margin we want.
Yep.
Freedom of time, which is what I'm talking about now. If I want to go golf, if I want to, you know, we went to the Elevation concert. If I want to go do that, if I want to go to Ty's house yesterday, I just want to be able to do what I want all the time. And I want my business to still function without me being there. And guess what? I'm gone a lot doing random things and we still function just fine.
Yep.
And then lastly, the freedom of speech. And so that's the beauty of this podcast and stuff. I could talk about faith. I could talk about everything I want and ain't nobody going to stop me.
Yep.
You know, I don't have any sponsors. I don't have an employer. I don't care if anyone likes what I have to say or not. It doesn't matter. It won't affect one thing. And that's like really what freedom's about.
Yep.
Because, you know, I got a lot of really successful friends who don't have that. They're making a ton of money. So they have financial freedom. They don't have time freedom because they're out working all day, every day. They have to go speak at 1 million events. And I'm like, bro, we should do that. And it's like, no, man, like the schedule's packed for the next 3 months. And I'm like, you definitely don't have time freedom and you already made it. And then, you know, freedom of speech, it's like, dude, you know, they're worried about their brand image and what they can and can't say and this and that. And I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to live like that.
Yeah. That's exactly the way I don't want to live. So how do you avoid that trap then? Because like I'm always trying to maximize what I can do, my potential, like my purpose, and I want to get on every stage that I possibly can. I mean, I don't know how many times you've asked me just like, hey, dude, can you do this? Yes. Like I just automatically want to do it because the opportunity's there.
Yeah.
But then at some point you got to say no.
Well, it's just like deals and money and everything else. If you have so much opportunity, then you can say no to everything. You're like it's like the investor who, the new investor who they hear the first seller who's like, yeah, give me an offer. You're like, yes.
Yep.
And it's like, but if I hear 1,000 sellers a day,
right,
and I'm like, nah, they ain't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
That one's that.
Yep.
Let's do that one.
Yep.
And so it's just what we're all looking for is options and freedom. And so I think like with your business, you're at the point now where you have options and freedom and you have a choice on what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Do you, fully delegate it out and like kind of just let it be what it is? And then you now use your time to do other more fulfilling interests. And by the way, it could just be interesting. Like maybe you really are like, bro, I just want to do the wedding business just to prove to myself that I can be an entrepreneur in other ways.
Right.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. My point is just if it's about money, because you're like, I'm just looking for a way to pay the building.
Right.
That's a dumb reason to do it.
That's basically the reason that I thought of initially. I mean, I think that's basically the only reason.